It's
that. Time.
Again.
It's
Baggy.
Hi-Fi. Time.
Greetings cats and kittens, welcome once again to Baggy Hi-Fi, this YouTube channel devoted to record collecting and the vinyl community here in the UK. How are you all doing? I hope you're all keeping well and safe as we come towards the end of this 1 month lockdown here in England and probably enter into another semi-lockdown, but whichever tier you are in the UK. So the coronavirus crisis continues. So this latest video is another contest entry in the vinyl community, and specifically I'm going to answer questions set by Pretty Green Vinyl Guy, and that is Edwin, who runs that particular YouTube channel over in Canada. And Edwin has achieved 1,000 subscribers, so congratulations Edwin, well deserved. You've been on the vinyl community for a while and you have very broad taste and a really engaging style, and I like the Beatles picture that you have behind you in all your videos. So well done Edwin, and you've set these questions to acknowledge your reaching 1,000 subscribers, and they're interesting questions as well, so I thought I would respond and whiz through these 10 questions. Quite a lot of other people on the vinyl community have been already answering these questions, and it's been very interesting to see their responses. So here are mine. First question is, show a song that makes you cry. Well, I'm often quite moved by music in general anyway, but in particular I thought of this one, and it's a single released by Robert Wyatt. I think, what year was it? Maybe very early 80s, 1980 in fact. In the early 80s, Robert Wyatt, ex of the Soft Machine of course, made a series of really excellent singles on the Rough Trade label, and this is one of them. This is a cover version of a Chic song, At Last I Am Free, and this song does certainly move. It brings a tear to my eye, possibly really not just the content of the song, which I think is about a relationship coming to an end, but the optimism of being free again. But Robert Wyatt's voice, if you know it, is very moving anyway. It's a very plaintive, and I think it's on one of the Matching Mole albums, that one of the bands he formed after Soft Machine, that he just sings a description of the verses and the chorus of a song, and that is even moving when Robert Wyatt sings it. So there you go, At Last I Am Free, cover version of a Nile Rodgers song that Chic once performed. I'd never checked out the original by Chic until a couple of weeks ago, and that's a lovely version as well. It's not that upbeat. It's a slow song by Chic, and a great song, I think. Second question is, a song with a place in the title. Well, I have two. The first one that came to mind was off John Cale's wonderful Paris 1919 album. And if you don't know it, this is one of the most sort of melodic and mellow and orchestrated albums that John Cale made. A lot of his later ones are very sort of jagged and angular and tortured, but this one isn't very much really. So the song I've picked is Andalusia, or Andalusia, as he sings on that particular song, and lovely album, lovely song. But I realise that Andalusia is a region in Spain. It's not actually a place. So if you want a place or a city, then Going Down to Liverpool by the Bangles. Great song, great version off their All Over the Place album. The third question is name a song with a colour in the title. I wanted to show this Donovan Greatest Hits, which I've bought recently. It's an American copy, and it has all of the great poppy Mickey Mouse productions that Donovan did in the 60s. It's an interesting gatefold with photos, and the song, I think you can guess, it's on the Epic label. The song I think you can guess is Mellow Yellow. It's strange that Donovan was sort of marketed and hailed in the 60s as the UK's answer to Bob Dylan. And although he did have a kind of a protest acoustic phase, I think he's best remembered for his sort of psych pop confections that were produced by Mickey Mouse, because it was a great run of singles, and really glad to have this album with Mellow Yellow on it. The fourth question in Pretty Green Vinyl Guys contest is a song that you would like to see made into a movie. Now, this album came to mind straight away because I realised that it's Roky Erickson's Evil One. Of course, Roky Erickson, former leader of the 13th Floor Elevators, made many great solo albums. This is a wonderful one. This is when Roky was going through his sort of horror film phase. Most of the lyrics in the songs are about that kind of thing, kind of subject matter. And Creature with the Atom Brain actually is a tribute to a 1955 sci-fi stroke horror movie about an ex-Nazi scientist who creates an army of zombies to help out a crime baron. So that song in particular really is the content of a film. So I also think that on this album, Stand for the Fire Demon is definitely a reference to the horror film, great, spooky, disturbing horror film, Night of the Demon. But if I'm going to pick another song off here which I'd like to see made into a movie, into a horror movie, and that would be Bloody Hammer, which closes this excellent album. Bloody Hammer. I never had the bloody hammer, sings Roky in the chorus, and conjures up all sorts of weird occult images in the mind. So in the right hands, I think that could make a great horror movie. Bloody Hammer by Roky Erickson and the Aliens from 1981. Yeah. The fifth question is a song to play to a friend who's never heard any music by one of your favourite artists or bands. Well, one of my favourite bands is the Rain Parade, part of the Paisley Underground of the 1980s, LA Paisley Underground. This is their first really proper album, because the first record was a mini album. All of their records are good. I recommend all of them. And if I was going to pick a track off this, which is a really, 10-star album in my view, I think maybe I'd choose What She's Done to Your Mind, which opens side 2 of this album, Emergency Third Rail Power Trip by Rain Parade, sinuous guitar playing by David Roback, beautiful melody, definitely heavy nods to US psychedelia, but for a new generation really, the Paisley Underground. Rain Parade, What She's Done to Your Mind. The sixth question is show a song with a boy or a girl's name in its title. Virginia Plain. Now you may say that Virginia Plain wasn't on Roxy Music's first album, of which this is Roxy's first LP on Island Records from about 1972, I think it was. But this is the American version of Roxy Music's first album. It's on the Reprise label, and Virginia Plain was included on the American version of that seminal Roxy Music album. Now a boy's name, because I'd like to show a boy's name as well. what came to mind was Jeffrey Ingram by another one of my favourite bands, the Television Personalities. This is a collection of their singles from 1978 to 1989, which I've shown before. It's a great collection by a great band. And Jeffrey Ingram is on side 2 of record 1 of this double. It brings to mind the Kinks' David Watts. You know, it's about a friend who always gets away with things and is always very popular. And this song, Jeffrey Ingram, has the classic line which I'll read for you. Jeffrey shops at Safeway, it's got everything he wants. He fills up his pockets with baked beans and blancmange. All the girls at the till smile at Jeffrey. He's the kind of guy who gets away with that sort of thing. So that's the boy's name, Jeffrey Ingram. Great song by Television Personalities. The next question is a song you'd love to hear live, or you would have loved to hear live, maybe, you know, going back into the past, because that's what I'm going to do. A band I never saw live, or have never seen live, and that is Syd Barrett's Pink Floyd. And the song I'd like to see performed live, this is off the Relics compilation, is Interstellar Overdrive, because yes, Syd Barrett's Pink Floyd did produce some perfect pop psych singles, you know, See Emily Play, Arnold Lane, to name 2. But I would love to have seen Syd's Pink Floyd play live, maybe at the UFO Club sometime in about 1967, you know, jamming on that great Interstellar Overdrive riff. I think in the video I did for my favourite guitarist, I included Syd Barrett, because David Gilmour is just, in my opinion, very ponderous and too bluesy for my taste. Syd Barrett was a genius. But yeah, that was when Pink Floyd were in their very experimental stage, full of inspiration, full of ideas. So Interstellar Overdrive is the track I would like to have seen played live by Syd Barrett's Pink Floyd. Coming towards the end of the questions now. First song you remember dancing to. Well, does that mean in public or in private? Because I certainly remember dancing with my 2 sisters to the Monkees and the Beatles and the Shadows and various other bits of music. I didn't really go to school discos, so I can't really mention dancing to any particular songs at school. It was probably when I started going to live shows that I would dance, and that would have been around the time of punk. And so dancing to punk records or punk live shows was a much easier prospect, because, you know, you just had to sort of jump up and down and pogo, etc. So song I really remember seeing this band live, the Rosillos, a great Scottish punk band who became the Rovillos, who are equally as good and still going today. And this is Can't Stand My Baby, the first single from 1977. Quite interesting notes on the back of this 7-inch single. Keep this record clean, away from heat or sunlight, and turn up the volume, because it is a punk classic. Can't Stand My Baby by the Rosillos. And I do remember dancing to that one. Question 9. A song you'd like to be played at your funeral. Well, seeing everyone's responses to this one has been interesting. Well, after the Requiem Mass with sacred music, I would maybe choose this song, Farewell, Farewell, off Fairport Convention's acclaimed album Liege and Leaf. It closes the album, and I think farewell is not goodbye. It means that hopefully we'll see each other again. So although it's a very sad tune, beautifully sung by Sandy Denny, it does mean that it does have the message that hopefully, you know, we will be together again sometime in the future. So that's my song I'd like played after my funeral. Final question. Favourite song from a concert experience? Well, I'm going to mention here, or talk about here, Echo and the Bunnymen. I've seen them live, I think 3 times. The second time I saw them play live was at about 10 years ago at a free concert, an open air concert at Hartlepool Arena, which must have been paid for by the council. I think all the groups were free and the Bunnymen were top of the bill. And that wasn't a great performance, I have to say. I think that it's fair to say that Ian McCulloch couldn't be arsed and was maybe a little, had a drink or two. But the last time I saw Echo and the Bunnymen was about 2 years ago, and they played at a big venue in Gateshead at the Sage, and it was a fantastic show, and it just really reminded me how many great songs they have in their repertoire. So I'm going to pick a song from their Porcupine album, The Cutter, and that gig about 2 years ago, that was a highlight for me, by a band who I like very much, Echo and the Bunnymen. So that's the end of my answers to those 10 questions. Thank you to Edwin, a Pretty Green Vinyl guy, for setting these vinyl community questions. Hopefully I'll get this video in before the contest closes. Good luck to everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your subscriptions, which are still coming in, which is great. Thank you for all your comments. Hope you have a great week ahead. Bye for now.